Welcome to another edition of the Boardroom. I'm delighted to have you once again to deliberate on issues that will help develop the country. The President wants me to thank you for your time, your sacrifices, and all you've put in to make this discussion a success.
I will also want to thank you. Hey,
What have I done?
Obibini is a two-faced guy.
Really?
Last weekend I closed from men's fellowship. I was very hungry. So I entered an eatery. I've forgotten the name. After buying it's not too expensive. Before I leave the waitress, she said, greet my boss for me. I said, who's your boss? I don't know. He's been seeing you and my boss. Then I turned, come and see Obibini's picture in the restaurant. He runs the restaurant.
And what's the name of this restaurant?
Hey. Says Namani restaurant. Ask him.
What's the name of your restaurant?
What is the name of the restaurant?
You know, we all had to do double jobs, so it's a side job I do.
No, but what's
What's the name of your restaurant?
This is why I said.
Okay,
If they give you opportunity, you want to use the opportunity to
Okay,
wrap the
so
floor.
the name of the restaurant is Mani's.
Mani's.
Food.
So how come you've never brought anything from your restaurant
Look,
here?
this restaurant
Maybe
is.
invite us there.
Because
It's
I'm here
alright.
in the capacity as a judge and then also a
No,
chairperson.
sometimes
It's so nice. You come, your senior colleagues are here.
So you
Yes.
All right,
took
okay.
this thing, you took even
So
add-
from this discussion, we'll move straight to the
No,
restaurant.
you should tell us that.
Okay, no,
moving on
I think he's making a point here.
from the
Here,
next.
we'll move straight to the restaurant.
Where's the
and,
restaurant?
Oh, it's at Tama. I think 25. That road, that's right.
Community 25.
From the 25 more.
From the way I'm hearing, if somebody wants to come there, what number should they call?
No, so number 25,
Yeah,
who will go there?
okay, all right. So it's at the 25 mall, so you can locate us.
Oh,
You
then
can-
that's fine. Then
But don't worry, they even do delivery.
Yeah, we'll do delivery. So
You
before the end of the
are
show,
wicked
before the end
guy.
of the show,
So
I
that
will-
will be why are you like this?
I will guess
You
the
make
number
us
so we
drink
can
this
go.
hot.
All right, so we are here to discuss another.
So
Prof,
will you be bringing it
Prof,
here?
thank you very much.
No, Obibini, hold on. Are you saying when we go there, what happens when we meet in the
All right,
bedroom?
I would tell you. Now, I would want us to look at this
She doesn't want to
scenario. Now,
I'll go and show you that.
Doc,
You have to.
if your wife and your mother are being drowned in the sea, who will you save?
Ask Arako. This one it has kept long.
What were they doing there?
What will my mother and my wife be doing in the sea?
Oh, they
Can't
went
swim. What
like-
are they doing?
What will they be doing in the sea?
Who sent them?
Who sent them?
When we see even a pond of water, we don't pass.
you don't
by.
pass there.
I'm sorry.
Okay, all right.
When I hear it, I won't bother.
If you come and take us to your place, you will not take us to the place. You are
Give
here
us
to
another
Okay, all right. So we'll go for a commercial break. We'll be back.
Over console.
No.
Commercial break, we will go.
Welcome back. We have a quite controversial topic on our hands to deal with today, and it's about admissions in our second cycle institutions. You know, there've been this case where some students have been are not being allowed to enroll in Achimota school just because they wear locks or dreadlocks or what some of us will call rasta. In fact, they have been admitted to the school, but they cannot enroll in the school. And the school authorities are saying that they would only enroll them if they go and cut their hair. Otherwise, they should go look for another school to go. Now, we know that there's no law that supersedes our constitution. And our constitution states that every child has a right to education. The stance that Achimota has taken, is it right? If they are not, what are the steps we need to take so that we can prevent some of these things happening in future? General, I want you to give a shot at this. What's your take on this?
You know, this is a very serious case.
That is why we are
when-
discussing.
Obini, do you have any case against
But
me?
if
or
it's
no?
not a serious issue, why would he bring it on board?
But I'm just trying to
Why
emphasize
are you
on the
emphasizing
fact that
that
it
it's
is
a
a
Always
serious
doing
issue.
this. Every time they ask you,
I want to throw emphasis
you
on
want to
this.
defeat the person. Just
That
go
is a
ahead.
serious case. It's a serious
But we know it's
issue.
serious.
I've already
The
said
president
it.
has
I
told
already
you to
said it
come.
that's
General, let me advise you. Don't lose your temper on this. The three of them want to meet at Money's restaurant. If you get annoyed, you won't go.
No, thank you.
That's right.
okay. All right.
So I'll
What
address it.
does he sell?
You see, every institution has their rules and regulations,
Both local and continental.
both local and continental. Every school or every institution have their rules and regulations that govern, their day-to-day affairs and how they run the school.
Okay.
And this has to do with, curbing your hair, making sure that you trim your hair to a level that every student is doing same. But in some issues, you just have to try and have an exception. Now, if you want to try and have an exception to, just look at it from a perspective that it will not escalate, where after you give an exception to one party, other people will also come in and say that you've given an exception to this one, so I'm also in. So this matter has turned like Kwesi Antachwene. You know Kwesi Antachwene. If you don't play it well, you're hurting the person. If you play it well too, it will overdance. So we have to come up with rules and regulations and measures that we can look at certain things. Is it possible for the boy to cut the hair? They will say no. Is it possible for Achimota School to admit him also? They will say no. Are we looking at his intellect? Are we looking at his grades and his brains that he has before we admit him, or we are looking at his hair? That one too is something that we have to look at. So we are looking at a system that we can put measures in place that we can address it, because as day in and day by the country or the world grows, there are some things that also grows. So some rules and regulations and other things, we will have to look at them again.
In fact, the PTA admits that this particular rule is primitive. It's a very old rule.
Good.
So do we have to, carry it on into
That's what
the
I'm saying,
modern-
that you don't, it's like the Constitution of Ghana.
Yes.
You've done a Constitution. Before, when we were doing the Constitution, the population was not the size that we have right now. So as the population has grown to this size, there are some rules that you would want to look at again and see that it will help everybody within this particular context or this particular system or this particular Ghana that we are in. That's what I'm saying, that Achimota School must also really look at some of the rules and regulations in the school. Probably, maybe there can be some adjustments somewhere that can benefit people when they get into this. So I think that everything comes for a purpose. I won't say that this is a bad thing or this. No, it's good that it has come. But let us use this right opportunity right now so that tomorrow it will not occur again. So let's address it well.
But you say it's good, but doesn't it affect the students?
I said it's good that what? I've said something. Don't take my word mouth.
Oh, you are
and go
saying
put-
that it has come at the right time. But are you considering the effect it's having on the students, the two students? That is Tyrone, Magai, and then Ohiniba.
That's what I'm saying.
Nkrabia.
That, no, I'm not saying that it is good that they are sacking them. I've not said that.
Yes.
I'm saying that the issue has come at the right time.
So they are being used as a scapegoat.
Not a scapegoat. Why? I'm not mentioning a scapegoat here. I'm talking about the school talk. You come there, you come and say it.
You go to money, so you go to money.
No, I'm not shouting at him. I'm telling him.
So
No,
relax.
it's because we need to understand.
That's what I'm saying, that I'm not saying that they are being used as they should be used as a scapegoat. But I'm saying that this
Sell money, Sako.
the same man is there. So Obi Ameso call. What I'm saying is that nobody should use them as scapegoat, but we should use the issue that has come to address it right now so that it will not escalate into the future. So we use today, if there's going to be some amendment to the constitutions of the school, you should look at it right now so that tomorrow, next year, they will not come and say another Rastafarian has entered school.
Okay.
You know when Rastafarian started?
When?
Ja Rastafari, Ja Rastafari, Ja Rastafari. Oh my goodness.
We give you.
I feel irate. I feel irate.
Okay, all right. So
My voice,
your point
my
has
voice.
been made.
My voice.
Doc, what's your take on this?
So long as it's gotten to this stage, we need to really devise good, because the laws are made to be amended. You understand? And laws are being amended day after day. In the football rules 50 years ago are not the football rules now. They
Which
even
one,
got.
which one has changed?
Pardon?
Which football rules have changed?
Oh no, some of the rules
Which
have
one?
like for instance, when COVID came right now, they've increased reserve from 3 players to 5 players because of COVID.
But that is not a rule.
No, they're all football laws.
Prof, we know
Oh,
you're
of
a
course.
very good with.
Prof,
So
you cannot go and change 5 when they say the football law is 3 changes per game.
Let's keep our eyes on the ball.
Even when they go on tournaments
Dog,
like World Cup, those things are changed.
Prof.
But foul is foul. Red card will be
Prof,
given when you
Prof,
do something like
yeah,
that.
thank you very
Yeah,
much.
that's what I'm saying. That's for football. Things are
Let's keep our eyes on the ball. Okay, so you were. I
yeah.
don't want us to
So
digress.
things are made to be amended.
Okay.
Understand? So when you feel that these rules were made years ago, and for now, looking at how people are growing and how the world has become a global village, we need to adjust and put things. I think sometimes we need to look at it from that holistic point of view. Meanwhile, there is also a caution here. We are in a society where if A does it and A is allowed, before you realize B, C, D are all coming in. The reason why you've not seen B, C, D is because they have not seen any A being allowed. And that is my fear now. That if this thing happens, it's like, okay, let's allow them. I'm telling you, there's also a religion that they crop all their hair and they leave a small one there.
What's that religion?
I forgot. I don't want to.
Shintoism.
Yeah, no, it's true. I don't know anyone. They leave a hair just little. I've seen. Yeah. So I don't know whether it's Hindu. I don't know whether it's Shitu or whatever. But
Shinto.
it's there like that.
Yeah, more like a Tai Chi kind of thing.
Yeah. So somebody comes and said that's my religion, and so I'm coming to the school. Understand? And then because these are schools where even Muslims are not allowed to put on. Muslim females are not allowed to put on. I don't know how they call it. Something.
Hijab. The hijab.
Hijab. Okay. You understand? And I know even the university, there's some, even Valley View University, they are very strict about what you wear and all those kind of things. You can't go to Tia Ahmadiyya and say I've gone there, so I'm going to do this. No, they have also their principles. So there is a school that comes with their principles, and I feel that so long as it's that, we need to just let it go. It's not something that is twisting the hand of the student.
Okay.
We need to just let it go like that. Or Chinabinti, like I've said. Somebody will also pop up right now. So long as we've allowed this religion, then my religion must also enter.
Okay.
And that's
all
my
right.
fear.
Mr. Ignatius, what's your take on this? Now, what I want you to look at it from the legal aspect. You know, the Constitution is giving rights for children to have education, irrespective of their religious background.
Yeah.
Now, the school is turning away students because of religious background. What is your take on this?
Well, I think this has to do with an issue of religion and the law. And I don't think that as a Muslim I can go to a Catholic school and say it's time for Mass. I won't go to Mass. I have to, because if you are in Rome, you do what the Romans do. Yes, each child has the right to access education. That's the law, which we know that even that one crown is not rightly being done, because there are people who do not have access to even better school, etc. Schools. Let's put that aside. But yes, the right to school is the fact that you've been assigned to a school. The school has its rules and regulations, its prospectus, its whatever. I remember a time we were discussing students dressing, overdressing and showing skin, etc. about UPSA or so. So long as you want to be part of a fraternity,
We don't say so long as, we say as long
as you want to be part of a fraternity or an association, you should be ready to go by the rules and regulations of that association, regardless. So we have the Rastafarianism, which is a religion. But these Rastafarians make us understand that Rasta is in the heart. You can be a Rastafarian without dreadlocks. So you don't need dreadlocks to be a Rastafarian. That's what they tell us. Rastafari.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah. So there are different types of Rastafarianisms. We have the ancient Ada, Bobo Shanti. We have the, what do we call it?
Irie.
Yeah, there are like 10 of them or 12.
Who are they? We call it.
Yeah, I'm a Rastafarian.
You.
Yeah, I'm a Rastafarian.
I remember the day
Please.
I called mama on the telephone. I told her, mama, I'm getting married. I could hear a voice on the other side of the telephone. She was smiling and she asked me a question that I had the answer.
Hey.
She said,
So
you see,
don't you have any
Gino,
smoke?
Gino,
Any-
Gino,
I want to
Gino.
feel.
I want to feel
irate.
You don't know what's here.
Why
so
you-
we say, Jah, you represent
Rastafari.
Why are you
So Bob
representing
Marley-
it?
Bob
Why
Marley
why do you want
said
something to smoke?
Bob Marley
I want.
said,
At least I want to
It's
smoke.
okay.
I need smoke
No,
around.
baby, let's stop this. It doesn't come with smoking. Why do you want to attach it?
Zion, Zion, there is no line there.
Gino.
Hallelujah, there is no line there.
you hear that?
Rastafari is up. I don't even know.
So, Bob Marley in his song Who the Cup Fit says, Who the Cup Fit, let him wear it.
Yeah.
Lucky Dube said, nobody can stop reggae. Rastafarianism as a culture, as a religion.
Are you a Rasta yourself?
Yeah, man, Rasta. Rasta is in that.
You have 1 minute. You have 1 minute to finish your submission.
If
That's what
nobody
I'm saying.
can stop reggae.
You have
what
1 minute to
about
finish your
Rastafari?
submission.
You can't stop reggae means you can't stop Rastafarianism.
Doesn't mean that.
Because you see, it comes with the sort of notion tagged with people with
Reggae
dreadlocks.
is a genre of music.
By
Please,
who, the Rastafarians.
it's not
We brought
by the
it.
Okay, so let's
Well, we'll get
let's.
there. So what I'm saying is that
Yeah.
it's all because of the
Esther
fact
Smith is
that
a reggae artist.
Yes.
it's all because of the
Mark
kind of
Abraham
tag.
is a
The
reggae artist.
artist.
Makumba dear Lucy.
He's reggae.
Oh,
Ẹ̀rọ adé àbọ̀ àmì o.
please.
Ọ̀bọ̀nìfọ̀ ọ̀nyẹ́ ìdísẹ́ tinana.
Then they roll the drum. You may continue reggae, man.
Reggae man.
It still came from the Rastafarians. So what I'm saying is that because of the kind of tag they put to people who have dreadlocks, it is when someone has dreadlocks, there's this perception of bad behavior, bad attitude, etc. That is why it sort of makes it
So
impossible.
what's the
for them
point?
to
Is
accept
Achimota right?
Achimota, if it is in their rules that they can't accept that, then they are right.
So they should be denied education
They are
because
not
of.
being denied education.
It's not education.
Nobody's
But
denying
I
them
said
education.
that is not
If you want to
education.
be associated with
Yes.
Achimota,
Yes.
be ready that you are going to go by the rules.
But
So
they were placed there by the computerized system.
exactly, no human being
And so
selected them there. You come there,
the country Ghana has agreed that the computer would place
Ghana
you.
has done theirs, giving them school.
Yes.
Now, when you go to the school, which is Rome, do what the Romans do. What does the Romans say? Don't have long hair. Cut it.
Okay.
So if you want to be in Achimota school, stay there. Cut your hair. If you don't want to be in Achimota school, maybe the Rastafarian Association can start their own school. They have their people come there because there are religious schools there. Presby has their school. The Catholic has theirs.
But you know that in that Achimota school, they have students, foreign students who have long hair.
maybe they
Who
have a
came for
foreign-
2 weeks? 2 weeks?
Not
2 weeks
even
exchange
that,
program.
not even that.
But we're still in the school.
You see, no constant.
even if it is a day, they are still in
They
the
are not
school.
Rastafarians.
No, what I'm
Obibini,
saying is
hold
that,
on. Obibini, hold
he's
on.
talking about long hair. And I
Yes.
said that they have students who
Obibini,
are wearing long hair.
hold
But those are white.
Doc was saying that.
Are they
see?
not white?
No.
You see,
I mean,
you
Doc.
come to that point.
Doc, why you have
No,
They
they
are
are
white.
white. That's their hair. That's their
Anyway,
style.
all right, okay.
Obibini,
That's-
can I land?
No, you've
Can I
landed.
land?
It makes it
You shocked me
interesting.
with that statement. You
All
I
right,
land?
okay.
White.
So
No,
That they
can
are
I
white.
land?
Okay, land.
Yes, so what
But
does
that's
that
their
say?
culture.
Doc,
Don't
Hold
take
on,
it away
hold
from
on, hold on,
Ghana.
Doc. Hold
Ghana
on,
has
Doc.
its culture.
Hold on,
Doc.
hold on, Doc.
You are wrong with what you're
Okay,
saying.
so 30
Maybe
seconds.
Achimota School has a policy because to every rule there's an exemption. Maybe they have exemptions and these people who came there with long hair fall there. But if it says that it does not allow people to have dreadlocks, cut the hair.
All right.
So let me give the 4 strategic keys.
No, hold
that-
it. Prof,
Yes, they are right.
on what grounds?
On the grounds of laid down rules and regulations. That because your religion says wear trousers all the time, you come to this school and you bring up a reason of religious background saying that in my religion we wear trousers, so I have to wear trousers. That is not good. You left your religion, like Romanus said, you left your religion to go into another religion school. That means that you have made up your mind to change stuff. Move from here to here.
He didn't go, mind you.
Who didn't go?
He was placed there by the
You
computerized
think if you
system.
don't choose Achimota, computer will place you?
Okay, make your point.
No, say sorry to him before you say, if you do something and it's wrong, just accept. Why? You ask him a question, the question is not right. Say, I'm sorry, Prof.
Say it, please.
Sorry.
Good.
Look at the way he even says sorry.
I'll take it later.
And because of the money's restaurant, I will
Hey,
be-
I know what I'm doing. My brother. So let's move on.
Okay, so make your point now.
Good. So if you ask the question of the school being right, of course they are right. But like all of them are saying, there should be that window for somebody to just run away from. You could allow him to go to school, but you take certain precautionary measures that other children would not be distracted by the hair. He will not get into trouble.
Prof, let me not catch you. The
Yes.
minister even said that
Yes.
whilst people are going to mass, we are still here discussing hair.
Oh, yes. That's
It
what-
means
that's
that we are
what-
not
that was-
we are not a serious country.
It doesn't mean that way.
Okay.
If you're not okay.
And you think that's a right
Okay.
statement he made?
Okay, no.
It's the right
That
statement, but he's
minister-
trying to say in a
That
different context.
minister, when did he make that statement? When did the issue of Rasta come? Is it not, let's say, this whole month or this year, 2021? Does he know when people were going to mass? What was he doing as a minister?
How long has
So
he
if
been
we
a
keep
minister?
quiet, we won't talk about Rasta. Who will go to mass?
But he just became a minister for education.
Yeah,
recently.
he was in the government.
No, he was a deputy.
What he
education
meant to
minister.
say,
Yes.
what he meant to say
Yeah,
was that
yeah,
we,
but
should, we should focus
His
on
time,
serious issues.
Didn't he learn
That's
to go
what
to
I'm
mass?
saying.
Why didn't he
No,
learn
it's
to
that-
go
yes,
to
the
mass?
systems are changing.
Serious issues, being focused
That man
on
himself.
serious issues.
Yeah, I see.
What was he focused on? What did he do?
He tried to do something, but the main minister would tell him, shh.
You know, are you the one to do it? So he has been there, not doing anything. We didn't have anything to talk about. We got Rasta to talk about to come and bring mass. What are you doing in mass? When the people went to mass, what did they bring? Those who have been to mass.
And how
what
did that
what
change-
have they brought?
how did
have
that
they
change your
achieved?
life?
Now, let me tell Prof that he doesn't know what he's saying. People now are moving and they are trying to settle in mass.
Who is that? Go
Prof,
and ask
Prof,
Professor
for
Azerbaijan.
those who have gone to mass,
Azerbaijan.
Yes.
compare their economy
Thank
to
you.
our economy.
No. When you went to
You're making a point. You are
When you
saying that
went-
what did they get? Well,
you
what,
didn't
what,
get anything.
what
we
came
are
out of
here
the mass?
thinking about how children will get education, and you are going to mass. Between you and I, who is more serious?
Yeah, and it's just because of some of these directives, it's affecting
Going
our
to
total
mass,
education.
What
It's
the
not a
education
mark of
minister was
intelligence.
trying to say was that don't discuss this, try and solve it.
Like Romano said, the Rasta in our culture, in our normal society, people see Rasta as a bad image.
He has
Which
a
is
very
not.
bad image.
Yeah, which is not.
Yes.
But we don't have to bring it down to the level of minors. These minors, they learn a lot. Now, if we are here and we want to look for somebody who likes a map, we will point to this guy because of a map hair that he's doing.
I got the opportunity to
all
stay
right,
among
so,
my parents.
hold
We
on.
can leave
We'll
this thing
go-
here. Nobody will take it.
They're not.
We'll go for a quick
they are
commercial
very good
break.
people.
We'll be back. So welcome back from the break. We'll move straight to our second discussion for the day. This is quite important. Now, we have a lot of men or guys who are going through a lot of domestic abuse, but they are not able to report it to the police because of the whole thing surrounding the fact that you're a man, and then there's certain things you don't go to. We want to discuss some of the things we can put in place to help men, get that boldness to go to the police to report when their wives or their girlfriends are molesting them or beating them. If you have such examples, you have experiences you can bring it to bear so we can discuss it. I want to start with Prof.
But are you sure that the president asked you to ask us this?
In fact, it wasn't official, but he discussed it with me.
I've been thinking about it. That Mr. President, the way he's smallish and the wife is a giant. Why? But I found it difficult asking him. Last time
What are you trying to insinuate?
The insinuation is, I was talking to him some time ago, and he was trying to communicate something, but I wasn't really getting it. But
the president?
Let's continue. Let's continue. I'm seeing him right there. It will be difficult for a man like him to go out to report that fellow Ghanaians. Yeah, but machine.
Why the boy was so?
My name.
We
I
are not
was
talking.
slapped in the Tema municipality.
We are not talking about
By
the
who?
president here.
It's just like the Rastafarian thing that we're talking about.
Okay, so
It's a societal norm, I should say. Even as kids, if you're playing with your younger brother and he does something to you and you begin to cry, your mother will tell you, "Ade, what do you mean, Bono? What
the Unye Bema.
You see that kind of thing. So we grow up in that kind of box, let me put it that way. So it is always difficult for you to come out, even amongst friends, to say that yesterday, what my wife did to me. So we need more education and more enforcement.
Understand
not
you were
encouragement.
you were beating some time. How did you handle it?
That fight, I won the fight if I wasn't with my wife or.
Was your girlfriend?
No, it was an area fight.
Okay.
Area fight. So it was all play and they happened to see my girlfriend in the opposing side. And that's why people were saying that my girlfriend beat me. No! Everybody was beating me and she beat me. So is that a fight that I've lost?
So did you report?
And that's what I'm saying. It's an all play, all fight.
Okay.
If you win, you win. But you see, the law doesn't favor men too much. When this thing goes to court, or is it the Waju or...
Yes, Waju.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really favor the young men. So we should create a room for them to come. I will share one experience with you. I'll make it later.
You'll make it later?
Yes.
Why? You look very emotional.
The thought of it, it's okay, let's move on.
Are you the victim? Are you a victim to domestic violence? Oh, Prof.
Oh, if you have any, we want to learn. Just tell us the experience so we can learn something.
Okay, fine.
So for how long? How long were you?
let me tell
So for how long were you? Were you going through domestic violence?
I'm currently in it.
Oh, currently in it.
That's why I'm talking about empowerment. Let's empower the young men to come out today. I will say it for you all to hear.
So who is beating you? Your girlfriend or your wife?
You all know I don't have a car. Of the truth, I had one. But ask me where it is.
Where is it?
It's with the girl.
Is it a girl?
Your car is with the girl.
And you can't go for it?
He seized it.
It was just one time that after she came to sleep over at mine, I mistakenly wore her supporter. She said, "Hey."
And so she took the car keys. She took the car keys. And Prof, you haven't said this to your noble son of the
Prof,
son.
this topic really is going to help you. So
And
now from
today is
here,
going to be the last day that I'll give you a lift.
from here, I would call.
But
Now
you
I know where the car
you
is.
see,
I'll call the
now that
inspector.
you know that I've been abused, instead of you to help me, you are rather, I mean,
How can you sit
why would
down
you do that?
for a woman to take your car key and
But
seize
Prof,
the car?
I
it would,
wore her dross. And she says she cannot go home and to pay unless she uses my car. And since 2018, I haven't seen the car.
wow.
One dross that I wore.
So this is serious. You are going through abuse.
Waju must create a friendly atmosphere or environment for men who go through such abuse so that they can get the courage to come and see them in secret, because, you know, when you are in an area and your wife beat you and you come out from the room, you can't just make noise because you are with your friends, you play Ludo and Dime together. You know, you can't go and say that my wife has beaten me. It's a disgrace.
No, why can't you do that?
Because men are created to be warriors. You see, when God created man, he created man first, he created Adam. And he gave him that he should take care of the whole garden. Like men are the head of the house. So as the head of the house, if your wife beat you, who is the head?
How about ladies who are now proposing to men?
It's okay.
It's okay.
I think that
is okay.
women, if you are, I love women like that. Even if you are courageous enough, you see a man, you are attracted to him. Go for it.
But the norm is that the man would
Who
propose.
gave that? Which
brought
law?
that now? Who
Which
brought
law?
that now?
Which law?
But that's what you're saying, that you are saying that.
It's a law. It's a norm.
I said it's a norm.
Yeah.
So you are saying that the norm is that the man is
It's
the head.
head of the house.
Yeah. So
Oh,
norms
it's
can
not a
we
norm.
can
It's biblically
change.
It's biblically even bad.
Okay, so
we
we
are
can
not talking biblical. What is biblical about this?
conclude.
Let me give you
Conclude.
one example of one police officer that I knew, Sergeant Danso. One day he got drunk, and then when he got home, I helped him home. When I got there, they came to serve him fufu, and his wife was standing in front of him. They put water there, soup, and then the fufu. He washed his hand in the soup, and when he take the fufu, he put it in the water and swallow. The wife gave him a dirty slap that I've never seen some in my life. I thought Sergeant Danso, being an officer, would stand up on the street and say, "Hey woman, you cannot slap me like that." He got up and he said, "General, take me home." Take me home.
Which home is home?
He said, he stood up. And I said, Sergeant Danso, what? He said, "This is what I've been going through." There's another friend, when he comes to watch play at the National Theatre, he doesn't go home. Because when he get home, the wife will beat him. So you see, a lot of men are going through a lot of emotional trauma. But it is sad. That guy got the courage to tell me one day after National Theatre, "Now, General, if I go home by this time, my wife is not asleep, she will beat me." Why must it be so?
So what do we do now?
What we have to do is that we have to ensure equality.
How?
How men should stop beating women, and then the few women who beat men also must stop. Because there are some women, or beneath that you are sitting here, if you go and try, the way they will beat you. Now, at Jamestown, my brother, stop it. You that are sitting here, she will discipline. Don't try it. You that are sitting here, if you like, do 2-0.
Well, if it
do
is-
2-0, no, do 2-0. Let me take you to Nigeria. Do 2-0 right now. And let me take you to Nigeria at Jamestown and go and see her.
Okay. All
Can you
right.
fight Nigeria?
No.
Better.
Romanus, what's your take on this? Men are being beaten.
No, I think the
All over.
biggest problem is the fact that we don't pay much attention to psychology, and the fact that there are not many counseling, centers available, because these places are what the men need, men who go through that. Because then they need people to confide in, people who can keep their secrets, people who can actually listen to them and not judge them, or like they're doing. Why should a man sit down for a woman? You understand? Because everyone and how he or she was brought up, or he was brought up, because we're talking about men. So the orientation a man has, probably a man has been told that no matter what, you never throw your hand to hit a woman. So as long as a woman is even abusing him, he tries to restrain himself. No matter how it eats him up, he can't. He only needs to talk to somebody. And the only person he can talk to is not a friend. It's a counselor. It's people like us. But how many centers are there for these men to walk in there and, share their, what do we call it?
their problem and not be judged. You understand? The issue is not going to the police station. The police station will not change anything. The police station will only make it worse. Number two, why do you bring it out and make it news? Who wants to know about a man who was abused by his wife? For what reason? Neither. Abani is not. Yeah, Abu Mr. Listo. And
No, but secretly, the man you mentioned his name, right? The wife has been beaten.
I'm surprised he knows about it.
You know about it?
That the wife just use it as an example, like you don't.
No, but that's what I'm saying, because it's in the news.
Somebody brings an issue to you.
Mr. Lustewell, as we speak now, is my client.
So why do you bring it?
That's what I'm saying, that because he became my client after he had come in the news.
No, he didn't come in the news.
He came in the news.
Never heard it.
He was in the news. And that is how come I actually met him.
Yes, but you can't bring your client into the boardroom.
No, that's what I'm saying. Say, Yabu Mr. Listo ain't there because it was in the news being discussed.
So why you don't have to bring him?
You don't have to bring him.
You don't have to mention.
That's why I'm saying that it
It
should not be a news item.
Admit.
Why do you bring it into the news?
You don't. If Mr.
But you know that is not staying home. He
If
has rented an apartment
Mr.
somewhere.
Listowell is going to,
in his car for the past 2 months.
if Mr.
But about 2
Listowell is
months
going to
in his car.
domestic violence, or
You are not getting me.
his
right.
wife is beating
What
him.
I'm saying is that Mr. Listowell actually happened to become my client after his issue was in the news. But you don't bring one issue.
So that's what I'm saying, that the issue about men, listen to
client. He is your client.
Which Mr. Listowell am I talking about?
You know this actor, Prince David was saying, the wife has been beaten.
The wife has beaten you.
Oh.
You see? Because he
It's a
went
lot.
to tell him.
Okay.
If he had told me, I wouldn't have gone out there to tell anybody.
David is always at the gym carrying metals.
He will leave the matter for people to. He said he want to get confidence in front of people. But in the bedroom, the wife has been beaten.
You see, as I sit here, have I told
You know
you
Louis
that-
Lamis?
Have I? Hold
Yes.
on.
Okay.
Louis.
Yeah.
same.
Have I told you
I
that?
have records.
Okay,
There's,
all
there's
right.
a man named
I have
Patapa
records.
whose wife is beating him.
Who?
Have I told you?
Who?
That there's a man named Patapa whose wife is
But you have just told us.
Have I
just
told
told
you?
us.
You have
I
just
haven't.
told us.
Because he's my client and I respect confidentiality.
Okay.
You know-
all right.
So that's what I'm saying.
you know Robert-
They
you know
have
Robert-
to
you know
come
Robert-
to
Robert
it.
Aglija.
Let's leave names
Robert
out.
Aglija is in UK with the wife. They beat him recently. He wanted to relocate.
Robert
With all
told
his
me.
body size.
Forget the body
All
side,
right,
brother.
So
Doc,
that's what I'm saying, that they have to respect the offices of psychologists and counselors.
Okay.
So 4 strategic keys that will actually help men
Okay.
who are going.
I'll come to you on your keys.
Obibini, when I'm talking and they interrupt me, you don't say anything. Immediately I want to start my keys. Then you tell me I want to.
Because I don't have all the time.
You don't have all the time. So when they are cutting me, tell them not to cut me.
No. Okay.
You know Ras Mubarak,
Yes.
MP.
Yes.
So how, say your keys. Keys. Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
I'm dropping the names. As we go by, I'll be bringing the
Now,
names.
when you mention the name, you do this.
Yes.
I understand.
I will know. You there. You
Yes.
go on.
Please go ahead.
Let me correct something. We are all talking about wajib. It's no more wajib anymore. It's domestic violence.
You know the
victims
guy called
support-
Tomato Shares?
Yes. Thank you. Domestic violence victim support unit. You can call it DOVISU or whatever. DOVSU, yeah.
I don't know when
All these years, don't say Dovisu.
need to get your facts right.
I would like to correct a certain perception that we in the boardroom are trying to expose certain people. General is mentioning a member of parliament of the nation, Ras Mubarak, that
Yes.
his wife has been beaten.
I said Ras Mubarak and I did this. Did I
Please.
mention anybody's name?
Please.
Did I say something about?
Don't bring parliamentarians in.
What I'm saying is that I mentioned his name and I did
Because
this.
we all know that some judge too has been going through the same thing, but nobody is
saying
mentioning
this.
So
Some
why
judge-
are you mentioning? Please.
Don't bring parliamentarians. That's what I'm
Please,
saying. That
don't bring
I did
parliamentarians.
He was saying that this boy
Same way I also didn't mention.
Ras
I was
Mubarak.
actually going to call to verify from him.
Calling who?
So we
Okay,
can
what we are
get
doing
we can
something
get him.
else. Go ahead.
You are snitching. Who you
It's not snitching. I wanted to get him on the line.
For what?
To,
For what?
to help.
For what? For what?
Good.
Sorry.
We'll go for a quick commercial break.
I'm
We'll
not
be
giving my
back.
submission.
Really? So he can't go
alright.
for commercial break. You to be concise and precise.
Now,
You don't know what you are doing.
now in 1 minute, my greatest problem is this. A lot of people are silent about these things because they don't trust
where they can go and report. For instance, now look at him. He's mentioning the names of his clients here.
Which client did I mention his name here?
Have you not?
Yeah, we don't have time, so please. Okay, all
You
right.
can go for a break.
All right, we'll go for a quick commercial break. We'll be back soon. This has been very insightful, interesting discussion. Would want to wrap up our discussion. So we have 1 minute. You would wrap up with the two topics, the Rasta, Achimota.
Do you know Black Rasta?
Yes. Wow.
So we'll wrap up.
You can start with me then. Let me just
Okay,
finish
let me
my
start
topic.
with you.
Okay, so with the Rasta issue, I've just made it clear. And let me clear this. I am not supporting any white person with any whatever. All I'm saying is, I spoke about it culturally. That for their culture, they have their hair on all the time. In our Ghanaian culture system, it's also different on how we keep our hair. So that's it. It's when we grow that we try to copy other stuff, but it's different.
Do you know Michael Bison, ACN?
Yes. Oh my God. So now coming to, I don't even talk about that. Their rules, their institutions with their rules. Let us stick to that. Now coming to the very second one. Listen, someone, I'll mention names. As I'm talking to you now, he came crying and says, I'm saying, I'm not seeing any mark on this man. I'm not seeing any swell. I'm like, in the day of pot, you know, then he was crying. I said, what will do this to this giant of a man? So for 1 year, this woman has been wearing jeans to sleep. And she doesn't even sleep on the bed. She sleeps on the floor.
And what is the man still doing?
For 1 year.
What is he doing in the marriage?
Yes. And the man who went on cancer, from pastor to family members to higher, the woman is still yes, and two at Germany. 1 year.
Some even use
Yes,
padlock
but
to
the thing
lock the zip.
these people, it takes a lot for them to even confide in someone to tell them this, because it makes them feel as if the society we find ourselves in, as if you are a weaker.
Sorry, did he tell you the reason the wife started wearing the jeans?
The reason that, no, that he didn't say.
Most-
but definitely, like you have said, there will be a root cause to it.
I
It's true.
know.
Yeah.
If your wife starts wearing jeans, it's because maybe a lot of,
Pento.
Oh.
Maybe Pento.
Oh, maybe you are no BB.
Maybe you are Pento.
Yeah, maybe you are no BB. Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, then you have the point there. Opening this where I rest my case.
All right, thank you very much.
The issue is Achimota is the one that's saying we can't admit you if you can't go by these rules. You can just go to another school. A lot of people, the computer took them to Sabereme Secondary School and they changed it to St. John's or Achimota, they come down. So, I mean, there's no cost for alarm in this. Some people are saying the guy is intelligent. So are other people who also got a distinction in the exam. A lot of intelligent people do not have dreadlocks.
Okay.
And in fact, people, well-known people who were wearing dreadlocks, at a point when they feel that they are supposed to be gentle or go a certain, they cut it.
So, Prof,
So it gives us.
so
an
you are trying to
impression.
say Rasta does not connote gentleness?
I never mentioned Rasta. I said
But he said if they want to,
I
if
said
they
dreadlocks.
okay, dreadlocks. So
And even if you want to go by Rasta, Rasta comes with sell him up and sell it up. So if you allow this boy to be Rastafarian in your school, you should be ready for him to sell it.
thank you. You should ready for him to chalet.
Now let me come to
Okay,
abuse.
all right, abuse. Quick one.
We joked around mentioning names and all that. I mean, they should pardon us. We were just joking. Some of the names we were not too. But there is this man, this one, I won't mention his name. His wife made sure that he joined TikTok. And he was also doing do okay. Look at that. Abeku Santana didn't try at all to join TikTok. Why?
I thought you said you mentioned your name.
But I said you didn't say Abeku Santana's wife.
All right, thank you very much, Prof. Do not.
Men who go through such abuse should be, bold. They should come out, Dovsu and all, should open their doors to them and then listen, their case and all that. So they should be bold. They shouldn't hide behind closed doors anymore. They should come out. Now they know that I am behind them. If your wife beats you, just try and go to DOVSU and report the case. Just be bold. Tell your friend that this is what you are going through, so that if there's any help,
They shouldn't talk to their friends. They should go to counselors.
Today that we are all opening up, let me also use this opportunity to tell him that when that happens again, he shouldn't come to my house. I'm not a counselor.
He should
I'm
go
not
to
a member of DOVSU.
Make
I'm
your
surprised
point,
he's
make your
not
point
doing-
and
That's
conclude.
all.
I'm surprised he didn't
There are
use
some-
his
there-
case as
no,
an example.
There are some things that we can take it personally because you are my friend. And I've been dropping you. If I have a little issue with my girlfriend, I've come to tell you. Why must you bring
That's
it
what
in?
I'm telling you. Don't
Why
tell
do you
your
want
friend.
to- yes.
You are here listening people. They are messing with you.
You didn't mention
If I want, it wasn't beating. She just touched my ear.
So you know when your eye was
let's-
red, it was what?
Hello,
She just touched
hello.
my ear.
Okay.
So my swing did not.
All right, so run up, run up.
General, they do this to him.
Run up.
Then the Rastafarian, Achimota school. I think that this should be looked at. In this whole thing that we are doing back and forth, we will not admit him. We will admit him. Even the child right now might be going through psychological problem. We shouldn't do that. If Achimota school is not going to admit him, then the education ministry come and then find another school that is ready for him. If he doesn't like that school, he should go and tear his own school.
Before you continue, I just forgot one thing. The minister that said we are wasting time talking about this, please give him that message for me. That what has he done?
You don't know that minister?
The minister.
I don't know him.
He opened one of the best schools in the United States of America before he came into Ghana.
What is the name of the school?
I will get a name for you, but one of the, if you don't know.
I know he spent a lot of his time in US. That
Yes,
might be-
and also in his constituency, he has sponsored
In US.
about if I will not exaggerate, about like 150 students to University of Mines.
Why
He's
didn't they
doing
go
so
to
much.
mass?
He's doing so much.
Why didn't he go to mass?
He went to
Okay,
mass, but
all
when
right.
he got to the mass entrance, they sacked him.
Romanus,
Yes, we need more counseling units.
more counseling units. Good.
Bring more counseling units.
Okay.
So that people can go and, share their problems and confide in people like us, with a psychologist and so the 4 strategic keys. First, I'll drop the 4 keys for the Rastafarian.
All right, so go ahead with the keys.
And then also I'll drop the other keys for the
So
married
your 4
couple.
keys.
So let me
key
start
one.
with the couple before I go to the Rastafarian.
Okay,
So,
all right.
listening.
And so like I said, we need counseling units. And
You said that
better
already.
counselors.
So the keys.
That- I am getting to the keys. You need to build the foundation to build.
And you should know that we don't have all the time.
So why didn't you give me the time when they were interrupting
Use
me?
this time to say it.
This time to say, oh, is he not interjecting me?
Okay, go
yeah,
ahead.
stop.
Okay, go
So
ahead.
allow me to talk.
All right,
Yes.
okay,
Yes.
okay.
Now all I'm saying is that let the people understand that when they build the counseling units, and there are a lot that can be assessed and easily assessed, we need people we can confide in, people who are very secretive, counselors who are experienced, so that they will understand that, okay, this problem that I'm going through, I don't need to go to the police station because the police cannot help me solve it. Can I continue? What's the meaning of this?
Go.
Please continue.
So that they will understand that when I go to the police station, the police is only there when it's criminal, when it's, it has to do with breaking the law. But when it comes to emotional, trauma and emotional stuff, you don't need a policeman. You don't need to go to the police station. You need a counselor. You need somebody who is well versed in psychology that can help you. So when you understand this now, you won't get up from your house and walk all the way to the police station because police knows maybe are not You understand? So now, how do you get your problem solved? You need a counselor. Now, how do you get a counselor? This is why you need 4 strategic keys that will help you to get out of such a relationship if you are in there. I hope you understand. Good. So now, 4 strategic keys that can help men overcome wives who are beating them. Are you ready for that one? Good. Now, number 1. First is that, now you should understand that these keys that I'm giving will not only help men, but even women who are also going through the same trouble can actually do that. So viewers, on this note, we'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.
Okay. It's been another interesting discussion we have had.
Obibini, your wife has been beaten. Confess here, so we won't know how we're going to
Yeah, because we had a
From
meeting
here we are
that
going to
today
beat
we
you.
want to go and have a talk.
So that from here.
But the unfortunate thing that his wife is a pastor.
And they have been beating him.
A pastor, you beat your
One
husband.
day
like this.
the wife was playing gospel tune, and then he went to lower the
Okay,
volume.
alright, so-
Obibini, wife.
So, thank you. We've come to the end of
Stop
another
clapping.
interesting
You
episode.
call him Obi.
Thank you for
He'll be coming.
Obi,
staying
you
in
know
touch.
now.
We'll
If
be
he- Obi,
here
he will
same
do that.
time, same place next week.
Please come. Obi, your wife has been beating you. Just say, so we'll go and beg for you.
Today we will follow you.
Why did you go and lower the volume?